But T-A.
Alternative Break is an awesome program we have at JMU, offered through the CSL office, which is the Community Service Learning Office.
And it's a way to just come together with different JMU students, as well as a learning partner, to kind of see where service can take you and to experience past just Harrisonburg.
Currently, the Alternative Break program at JMU offers Thanksgiving break, spring break, May break, and weekends, which aren't any specific established weekend, but we try to offer about one a month each semester.
And they do service trips throughout the country as well as outside of the country.
An opportunity to go do service with your peers, an opportunity for a couple students to get some leadership experience, really deciding what social issue they would want to work with and what location, what agency.
JMU offers an assortment of places you can travel to experience different aspects such as environmental aspects, homelessness, and hunger, working with people with disabilities, just really any range that you could think of.
My experience working with Alternative Break program has been working with children in different social issues like homelessness and HIV/AIDS.
My involvement with the Alternative Break program so far, I've been a leader for one trip that went to New York and did Hurricane Sandy relief. And in the coming year, I'll be leading a trip to the Amazon rainforest.
I went to Dominica this past March to work with social services for my major in social work. My trip to Dominica was different than the rest of the other spring break trips I've been on because it was class-oriented and it was through my major. There's such a cool thing about working with a professor outside of the JMU community, and it definitely created a world of opportunity for me here to really know that this is the right thing I want to do with my life and with my major.
I was recently a learning partner on a trip to New Orleans working with Project Lazarus.
A learning partner is a staff member at JMU, staff or faculty, who comes on the trip along with the students just to experience, I guess, a different side of it.
The learning partner role itself is that of participant, essentially.
Just to be a resource for the trip leaders. They plan everything and take care of all the details, and you're just there to step in if they need you.
And the coolest thing is I think that they're so personable and they're so willing to learn as well as the students, so it gives you really a chance to see how the faculty and staff view service as well as students, and it's very similar. So it was really interesting, and it was a great way to just gain a new perspective.
My role as a trip leader was obviously to facilitate this working in service and creating that sense of community. But the biggest part for me personally, I think, was creating that sense of community and immersing ourselves within the area where we were and making sure to be intentional with what we were doing.
Reflection on the trips is really key for us. Like, that's what we would say as an office. I believe that the real difference between service and service learning is reflection. And so we do expect that our trip leaders are facilitating reflection every day on the trip.
Reflections are important because they're a way for the group to come together and just reflect on what you're learning and what you noticed and what's different than you expected. And it's a way to just really gain new perspective as a group in general.
To, at the end of the day, come back and sit with a group of students or a group of your peers and just talk about the service, talk about the issues, talk about what went on that day.
And it is such a short amount of time that we're spending together, but we're experiencing this life-changing event, and having them able to not only share their experiences on the trip, but just open up about who they are and just not being afraid to show who they are.
So it adds a very, very important element that really, I think, helps move people towards that active citizen goal.
I think an active citizen, in my eyes, is somebody who takes what they've learned and applies it in the outside world, is being active with the knowledge you've been given and the experiences you've been given.
To be involved in a community, to be educated in what is going on in your surroundings, where you can do service, how you can help.
You're walking down the street and you see something on the ground and it's trash, you're going to pick it up and not even question it. It just becomes a part of your everyday life.
Just really recognizing what role you can play in something bigger. It's just a way that can become just the way that you process and consider decisions, that you would think of others and not just yourself.
Alternative breaks have done so much for me. They've all been really defining in my JMU experience and my growth as a person and as just as an individual and as a student.
It is really hard to put it in words, but I think the best way to describe it was very impactful very intentional, and that sense of community was created. And I always talk about how like one of my favorite qualities or things to see in people in general is that helpless smile where you can't control it and you're just smiling like crazy. Just that feeling constantly. That's the kind of trip it was. The people we interacted with, the community we created was absolutely incredible, and it is something that will last for a really long time in my life.